I've always been fascinated by the power of words to shake the foundations of society. Books have the incredible ability to challenge our beliefs, push boundaries, and sometimes even incite real-world change. Today, we're diving into the realm of controversial literature, books that have sparked outrage, debate, and in some cases even violence. These aren't just stories, they're literary dynamite that have left lasting impacts on our world. Let's start with a book that's as dangerous as it sounds. The Anarchist Cookbook by William Powell, published in 1971. This isn't your grandma's recipe collection. Unless your grandma was really into making explosives and illegal drugs, it's been banned in many countries and, well, even its author later expressed regret for writing it. The Anarchist Cookbook raises a big question. Where do we draw the line between freedom of information and public safety? Now imagine writing a book and suddenly finding out there's a death sentence on your head. That's exactly what happened to Salman Rushdie when he published The Satanic Verses in 1988. This novel, which blended magical realism with Islamic history, sparked a global controversy that's hard to comprehend in its scale. Some Muslims accused Rushdie of blasphemy, and Iran's leader issued a fatwa, a religious decree calling for Rushdie's death. The author spent years in hiding. You know, it wasn't just a literary debate, it was a clash of cultures, a battle over freedom of expression versus religious sensitivity. And if you think modern books are explicit, wait until you hear about the 120 Days of Sodom by the Marquis de Sade. Written in 1785, while the author was imprisoned in the Bastille, this book is the literary equivalent of opening Pandora's box of depravity. It's so extreme that it wasn't even published until 1904, long after de Sade's death. The book describes in graphic detail 4 months of sexual torture and murder. It's not just the content that's shocking, it's the fact that it gave birth to the terms sadism and sadistic. The 120 Days of Sodom pushes the boundaries of what we consider acceptable in literature and forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about human nature and morality. Let's talk about a book that made your great-grandparents blush. Lady Chatterley's Lover by D.H. Lawrence. Published in 1928, this novel was so scandalous it was banned in multiple countries for decades. It became the centre of a famous obscenity trial in the UK in 1960, which it won, marking a turning point in literary censorship. Lady Chatterley's Lover reminds us how much societal attitudes can change over time. Now here's a book that's not allowed in prisons, but not for the reasons you might think. The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene isn't banned for explicit content or political ideas. It's banned because it's essentially a manual on how to manipulate people and gain power over them. Its ban in many US prisons highlights the real-world impact of its teachings. The 48 Laws of Power raises questions about the ethics of success and the nature of power itself. Vladimir Nabokov's Lolita is a book that makes people uncomfortable, and for good reason. Published in 1955, it tells the story of a middle-aged man's obsession with a 12-year-old girl. The controversy around Lolita isn't just about its subject matter, but how it's presented. Nabokov's lyrical writing style and use of an unreliable narrator blur the lines between art and morality. It forces readers to confront difficult questions about the nature of desire, the power of narrative, and the limits of empathy. Aldous Huxley's Brave New World is a book that becomes more relevant every year. Published in 1932, it presents a future where people are engineered to be content consumers, kept happy through drugs and mindless entertainment. The book has been banned in various places for its anti-religious and anti-family themes, as well as its sexual content, but its real controversy lies in its eerily accurate predictions about society's direction. Brave New World forces us to question the price of comfort and stability, and whether we're trading our freedom for convenience. George Orwell's Animal Farm might seem like a simple story about talking animals, but it's actually a biting critique of totalitarian regimes. Published in 1945, this allegorical novella uses a farm rebellion to satirize the Russian Revolution and the rise of Stalin. The book has been banned in many countries, especially those with authoritarian governments. Its power lies in its simplicity. By using animals to represent political figures and ideologies, Orwell made complex political ideas accessible to everyone. Animal Farm shows us how literature can be a powerful tool for political commentary. John Steinbeck's The Grapes of Wrath is a prime example of how literature can shine a light on social issues. Published in 1939, this novel tells the story of a family of tenant farmers driven from their Oklahoma home during the Great Depression. It was controversial for its frank depiction of poverty and its criticism of capitalism and agricultural businesses. The book was banned and burned in some places, accused of exaggerating the poor conditions and promoting socialist ideas, but it also won the Pulitzer Prize and is now considered a classic of American literature. The Grapes of Wrath shows the power of fiction to advocate for social change and give voice to the voiceless. These controversial books have done more than just ruffle feathers. They've shaped our world in profound ways. They've challenged our beliefs, pushed the boundaries of free speech, and forced us to confront uncomfortable truths. Whether we agree with their content or not, their impact is undeniable. So next time you pick up a book, remember, you might be holding a piece of history in your hands. Who knows, it might even change your world.